is good, everybody? It's your boy Big Zach 617. Welcome to the World Podcast and TV. Today we are at episode 15 from my man Relentless, the Tangible. How are you doing, my G?
Peace. What up, man?
I'm doing all right. So one of the questions that I wanted to get into, like straight off rip, is you're an artist and you're a producer.
Right.
So,
producer is our artist too.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, MC.
Yeah. But like, in that sense, like, kind of separate.
Yeah,
like it's terms of jobs and everything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But the question I had was, a lot of the times when you see artists and producers work together, some of the producers don't get the credits that they deserve, and I just wanted your take on what it is, like what your process is if you go through something. It's like you gave a beat to somebody, they didn't use it, or you sold a beat to somebody and they never used it.
Well, I mean, like, to be honest, it's like, it's an interesting thing because it's like, all right, so half the time when you do send beats to people, you know, if it's not like a thing that they bought off you or purchased, you know, it's most of the time like a homie of yours, somebody you might have known for a while, somebody else from like the scene. You're just like, yo, I want you to use my shit. Like, I think you would sound dope on my shit, whatever. So it's like you give stuff out, right? You know, it's a hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like, So it's like, I get it. Like, sometimes some MCs will sit on my shit for like a year. Right. And you know what I'm saying? And it gets annoying, right? But like, honestly, like, as long as it's like, you know, they update me of like what's going on, this and that, it's not really annoying to me. But, you know, a lot of times people don't. A lot of times people do. And sometimes people intend to use your shit like right away. Right. They fuck with your shit. They want to use it. And then, like, you know, I understand the other side of it as an MC. Yeah. Because, you know, I've done that before the producers. So sometimes you got the producers that are not MCs that send beats out. I'm sure they get more annoyed than maybe I would. And I get annoyed, don't get me wrong. But I have that perspective of an MC because sometimes, like, I'll be feeling some shit that a producer just sends me, and then I'll sit with it for like a couple weeks or a month, and then I'm like, not that I'm not feeling it, but I couldn't write to it like I wanted to, and then like I might start writing to some other shit that I made or somebody else. Whatever catches my ear, whatever inspired me at the moment, I'm gonna write to. So then, just by mistake, I'm pushing that producer's beats to the side, and then, you know, so sometimes it's like the artist doesn't mean to do that. Yeah, you know, and that's what I have to constantly tell myself. Yeah, but I do understand because having that perspective also as an MC. I get it, you know what I'm saying? So I don't get as annoyed as producers, but I do get annoyed. But, I mean, it is what it is. Like, sometimes people did write shit, or they recorded shit or forgot to update me, or they did a couple joints and then, you know, shit got busy in life and something happened with their kids or something happened with their family, and, you know, whatever it is, man. They just, you know, take longer time to use my beats. I don't know. It's just whatever, bro. I don't, you know, it doesn't really... The only thing that will get to me is like, you know, like me personally, like the last year or two, just on a personally, I've been sending out like tons of beats to like mad different people because they want to do whole projects on my beats. And these are like all free. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, if someone buys a beat off me, like that's it. That's theirs. I'm not going to be on them at all about when they're going to use it. Like, that's theirs. They bought it off me. You know what I'm saying? I can't say nothing about that. I mean, I do like to be involved in, like, possibly, like, if they're in state or close by, like, go to the studio when they record on my tracks, because I feel like not to sit there and tell them what to do, but I like to observe my shit in action, especially if it's somebody I really feel. Yeah. And I also want to make sure, like, you know, like, my shit sounds good. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I have so many years of experience now, just as an MC and as a beat maker, producer, and have been involved in other people's sessions, my homies or not or whatever. And so I feel like I can add on. So not to say the artist that's using my beat is not going to make an incredible song and it's not going to sound incredible, but I at least sometimes want to try to be there because I feel like I can add on and it could be even better.
Right.
Or maybe not, but I just like to be there. You know what I'm saying? But
I feel like from what you just said right there, that's definitely the producer's aspect of it.
It is.
You know, because you want to be there, you want to be part of that. And, you know, here at Groundbreakers, like, we have that. It's just like if you buy a beat from us, like, you get free studio time.
Right. Yeah, see, that's dope.
Yeah.
So that's like hand in hand.
We want to try to include as much.
Yeah, because of course if you say that to an artist, they're gonna be like, everybody likes free, right? Like, so, right. And not just that, they got it from you. Chances are you guys hooked them up with a great price for like, you know, probably a better price than
right.
Added up to the quality of your work. You probably could get more. You probably deserve more. But, you know, you're trying to come up. You give the artist the cheap deal and then free studio time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then also
we have a booth too. Because me and the Drunk DJ a couple episodes ago were talking about, like, there's so many people these days that don't want to, like, have a studio session like in an outdoor environment or like an outside environment, like something like out here, like at this part of the studio, not in the booth. Like, so many people need to have the booth for like an Instagram picture and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that, and like some people that, like, you know, some just creative artists, it's like they can still like be in a room with other people and still get on that mic and kill it, you know what I'm saying? And it'll be incredible. But some people, like, when you isolate yourself, you're in your own element.
In your own element, you're in your own zone.
You got just yourself to deal with, and it's like you can just really, really lock in.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Me personally, I do lean more towards what I just said about being isolated, but I definitely don't mind. Yeah. Like, depending on the circumstance, it's not really like a big thing. But, you know, I'm just me, so because some artists don't like that, you know what I'm saying?
Because
like,
a lot of artists, you know, they just have a microphone setup of some sort.
In their crib.
It's out here.
Yeah, they sit down and record like sometimes, It's like computer right here, mic right here, and they kill it. Right. And they get right on there, they engineer the shit.
It sounds great, too, you know. They might have to go a little bit hard, a little bit more on the engineering.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, but we have that nowadays, right? Like plugins and just experimenting yourself and just, you know, just do it yourself.
100%.
I don't really do that, but I probably should. I think I have a lot of years of experience. I'm not necessarily like an engineer, but I feel like I could do it. I should have done it 15, 20 years ago, right? All right, what's the next step for the production? But I have an ear, and I'm usually there when people are using like my stuff or like even my own stuff when I, you know, my solo shit as an MC. When the mixing and mastering is going on, I like to be at the sessions with whoever's mixing and mastering. Like most of the time, I've always been at the sessions. There's been a couple times where it just couldn't happen. And then you got to just keep going back and forth. But I like to be real hands-on with that shit.
I feel you.
Not to take control and try to be like overexerting on the engineer, like I don't trust them. But just to be there, because maybe there's something that, like, you can tell them through an email. Yeah. Can you do this here? Can you try something like this here? But like, if you're there with them and you're hearing it in real time, it saves you time. You don't got to send.
Me and Jesse do that all the time.
Yeah, you don't got to send stuff back and forth. Right.
He puts it right there.
Saves time, you know what I'm saying, like that. It 100%. Saves any type of confusion. So that's what I like to do if I can, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I love that. Next question I had for you is, how long have you been MCing for?
Okay, so technically, like, just pure MCing. Like, started rapping. Man, what is it? 2026. Since like started rapping probably in like 1997.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just not like writing and shit, but like rapping in general, freestyling, battling, whatever. Just rhyming.
So I asked.
I was like 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, I turned 16 at the end of that year. So like, probably that summer, summer 97, man. Yeah. I mean, I always been like, even when I wasn't an MC or a producer or anything like that, I always been in hip hop culture since I was like a little kid. Like, you know, it's probably barely my whole life, like 6 years old maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what hip hop culture was then, but like, you know, as I got older, I was like, oh shit, I've been like really involved in this. And like, it's just always been my favorite form favorite genre of music. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop. You know, like, and then like, you know, like soul and shit. But yeah, 1997.
Okay.
Yeah. 15, 16 years old. Yeah.
Dope. So the next question I had for you was, a lot of artists, when they first make music or like some of their first tracks or something, it's a different time frame. I was using Slain as an example in the episode with Sandro about there's a lot of songs from Slane's old catalog that he probably wouldn't perform today because he's a completely different person. Right. And I was wondering if there was a song that you have in your catalog that you would probably not, or like if there's a song in your catalog you kind of cringe at.
It's like, I mean, honestly, like, so I can answer with two parts. Like, firstly, there's some songs that, like, even back then, when I started really doing like a lot of live shows, I was like, nah, I ain't fucking doing that song. Like, I was like, that shit's trash, or we're like, that shit's not gonna be good live. But songs that I did used to do live, that I can look back and like, there's definitely a couple. But it's crazy too because like, I think one of them is like, was never even actually recorded. It's just, I got this beat from my bro, just did wrote like two verses and this like hook that kind of like, I didn't even write the hook to that shit. Like one day I did the song live and I was like, fuck it. Like the first time I did it live, this is like, you know, I'm talking 2003, 4, 5.
Okay.
This particular song, never recorded it, just wrote two verses, didn't have a hook. I went to the show, literally thought of a hook, like freestyling right before my set.
Okay.
Yeah, like, oh no, on the car ride, because back then it was like on the car ride in, because we didn't have the music on the phones and all that. But like in my boy's whip, I burned a CD, put the instrumental on the burned CD, and we were in the car on the way to the show, and I was just like practicing my set, and then I came up with that like hook on the spot. So that's a song I never recorded, and just like would only do it live. It's never been recorded ever, never been released, never been even recorded. Right. And I would never do that song now. But I used to think it was like the illest shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, not because of the messaging. It's just that I just feel like I've advanced so much. You know what I'm saying? And it was just kind of like, it was not whack, but it's just not like, it's not the type of time I'm on now, like, you know what I'm saying?
100%. You know, and I get that a little bit more now, like seeing artists like Slain, seeing artists like Sandro, because I asked him and he said a lot of the same things. He was just like, there's a lot of like my early work that wasn't like really my favorite. Like I think a lot of artists are also biased at their early work too, because like they do go through that advancement. But it's just like that time, that message is sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. And I think a very crucial part of like rap in general is making sure it ages well.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, like, like, it's like, it's hard though, because it's like, unless you like at a young age, when you're first coming into this to the business of it, or the scene of it, like coming out of your house to go do it, right, and show people and shit. It's weird because it's like, wait, I lost my train of thought already because I was gonna get deep about it, but I didn't want to get too deep. What was the original question?
Don't do that to me. I don't remember it, man.
Yeah, so we're both having a brain fart.
Both blanking, man.
No, but I'm gonna remember it. Oh, you're saying with Sandro? Okay. You're saying that
music aging well.
So when you're first starting out, you're young. You might not have found yourself as an artist really yet. So you don't even it's hard to even have that thought process from the beginning. Right? Most people don't have that thought process from the beginning. Of course, you some people might already know how they're gonna, what type of MC they're gonna be their whole career, and that's it. Right. And then they take that and they just update that and elevate that, right? But most people don't. We just doing this as a form of expression. So it's hard to the reason why a lot of times a lot of artists, even great artists, this shit doesn't age the greatest, is because we started at like a point of just expressing ourselves. We didn't have that intention in mind. But if you are like a conscious artist or even like a street artist, a street intellectual or conscious artist, whatever, you're probably gonna have some shit that ages well anyways. Even if you've like advanced your levels of lyricism or storytelling or whatever it may be, the overall message, like certain things, certain topics are gonna age well no matter what. Even if the music sounds dated, the subject matter is gonna age well. But I think it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
I think you have to be a certain type of artist, or you had to have had that intention all along. You know what I'm saying? So now, of course, you know, once I started really getting in, like 3, 4, 5 years in, then that thought came. Okay, I didn't put a pressure on myself because I don't want to just feel like constricted. But that definitely played a major role how I would like do a lot of my like album stuff, my written album stuff. Of course, I would still just flex on some shit.
So was it more that you wanted to be versatile, or is it more that you wanted to be like one style of MC?
I wanted to be versatile, but I also wanted. It's like the thing that Guru said, right? It's the Moment of Truth album, right? He said he's describing what Gangstar is, right? He basically said, not verbatim, but he's like, we have a formula. Yeah. And then every couple years, we just update that same formula. And so that's what I try to do. And really, I don't really try. It just kind of just happens because that's been my thought process, and it's just like instinctively how I think as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. It's like now I've been doing it for so long. It's kind of like subconscious now. Right. You know, it's like it's weird. It's a hard thing to describe. Like, honestly, like, and I'm not saying like this happens to a lot of us. This happens to everybody. You know what I'm saying? If you're like a real artist, this happens. Yeah. And I'm sure like a lot of people will say that like as they advance. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure. I don't know. I can't fully describe it. So yeah. But I think music aging well is very important. Yeah. It's very, because those are the artists you remember. Right. Right. Tupac. Right. Like. Right. Even not just hip hop. Like, there's so many other artists that like. Right. Their music is just timeless. Right. It's like 100%. Everything they've ever made. It's like, oh my goodness, like what? This came out in 1987? Right. Like if you put out, still sounds like that. Bro, if you put out, like people were talking a couple years ago, so Rakim, Eric B. and Rakim album, Paid in Full, came out in 86. Yeah. There was kids that didn't even know about Eric B. and Rakim that heard that song like 5 years ago. Right. That were like 20 years old. Didn't even really know who Rakim was, and they were like, yo, so a lot of the young kids, they don't know about Eric B. and Rakim. So an older cat played him this shit, and he was like, "What? This came out recently, right?" And they're like, "No, this came out like 35 years ago." So that's what I mean. Certain albums and certain artists age well. Like, I don't know. It's just like it's a weird thing, but it's very. I wouldn't say unique, but it is pretty rare to like. It's hard to do that. For sure. It's hard to do that shit, you know what I'm saying? Sure. Like, and even if you try, like, I don't really aim to do that. It's definitely on my mind, but like, even if you try to do that, it's hard. Like, in context, you know, doing that is the musician's form of going viral. It would be technically the same thing. Yeah. You know. Yeah, like a music. Yeah, that's like true. That would be, you made it as a musician if you make a timeless class that like lasts forever. Yep. Like I don't think there's too much more you could like aim for as a musician after that. Yeah, I mean, right. It's like you work your way to make that, and then what is it after that? Right. You got to do another one. You got to just keep doing it, or like I said, update that formula. Right. Make another one, but make it now. Challenge yourself. Right. You knew what you did to make that. Now make the same level of shit, but in a different way. Like be more versatile. Do something like you made a timeless song talking about politics, right? Let's per se, right? And it's like, oh my, people recognize that, and oh, that's the best political song ever made. Right. What do you do after that? you could just sit there and milk
Right.
it if you wanted to, or you could challenge yourself as an artist and be like, all right, I'm gonna make the best hip hop culture song ever,
Right.
and then do that. And
Yeah.
then if you can do that, now you got another timeless song about something else. Still hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like,
For sure.
but about something else. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's just basically like, and it doesn't have to be that specific thing. Those are just some shit I threw out there. But I'm just saying, like, I feel it's very important to challenge yourself. So I don't know, like, if you make the timeless hit, that is the goal.
Right.
But I feel like if I did, I would challenge myself
try
further
to
beyond.
do
I would
another.
still do music.
Yeah,
I can't-
100%. I'm not
you
saying
can't-
quit music after that timeless hit, but
A lot of people, though, you know, they go
I can see
crazy
that.
trying to match up to that one that they had, and they
can see
force
that
it.
too.
They force it, and they overthink it, and then they just.
Right.
And then the problem is, it's not even about that, because who cares about the industry and being recognized? But it's like a lot of those people will get they'll get so distraught that they were one-hit wonders that they'll actually stop making music itself.
Right.
And that's the real tragedy. You know what I'm saying? It's not about, oh, you're a one-hit wonder, you're known as that in the music industry, you're a bum, you're washed up, this and that. Like, that'll make some people that did that, like, not want to ever make music again. And that is the major problem. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
I don't know, it's a
I
weird
can see
thing.
both sides of that.
Yeah,
Because it's just like you could go crazy trying to make that next
And then, you know,
one,
there's two
and
sides.
maybe never get there again,
And then there's,
you know?
yeah, you're
Because
like,
they're like
most
the
people never get there the first time,
Right.
right? Like, I don't know, just me personally, I
That's
feel
like
like
winning the lottery more than once.
yeah,
It's like I won the lottery in December, I won again in February.
yeah, that's so crazy. Like, that doesn't really happen. Like,
No.
most people don't win it ever once,
Right.
So like that's the same thing with the timeless hit. Like,
Yeah.
most people are not gonna make a timeless hit. Now, I don't think you should like be discouraged and not make music because you didn't, because you never know. Too, man. You might have a song that, like, especially now, like, you know, we got Spotify and people can listen to the shit all over the world. And sometimes, like, a certain artist that's not even known, they'll just come up on a random shuffle on somebody's friggin' playlist because somebody was listening to, like, they love Wu-Tang, so they went on Spotify or whatever they did and said Wu-Tang sound like Wu-Tang, and then your song came up. You might have a timeless song to somebody you never met in your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know that shit, so you can't get discouraged and just give up. It might not be widely recognized as like a timeless song or known, but like if like one person heard that song and think it's a classic timeless song and it helped them, and they just love it and they play it all the time, like, you know.
100%.
So you know, it's like, it's weird. Like there's two sides, but there's also like the two sides of that. There's like intricacies inside that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear that.
I don't want to over-explain, but, you know, I tend to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hear that for sure because, like, as you said, who cares about the industry these days? But at the same point in time, you do care about the visibility because, like, the visibility is what gets you that timeless classic because enough people heard it.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No.
So like, so I think like now in the world that we're living in, we live in like the stream world, and like really hot topics right now is everybody's not like really getting paid from like Spotify and all these other places where they have their streaming platform to music. So I think it has to really put the pressure on the artists to do the shows, to go out and actually meet their fans, you know?
I can really, man, I can't really build on this because I've signed an NDA, and I'm not gonna say from who and what and how, whatever, but definitely along the lines of, you know, people getting away from Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff. I think that I think there's a lot of people working towards alternative solutions.
Okay.
I'll just keep it at that.
Okay.
And not even just the people I'm involved with. There's others too. And I think just like even people that aren't involved in that, they're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take all my shit off there. I'm gonna use Bandcamp and I'm gonna use Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And honestly, yes, you don't get the visibility. As I know everybody knows Spotify, right? But
right.
you know, you do kind of control, at least like, it's not just a money one. Like you do control your worth. There we go. Mm-hmm. You control your worth. You know what I'm saying? Not that like you have more control of your worth. You'll obviously at first make less because, I mean, you're not making money anyway on Spotify. But I'm saying you'll at first be seen less.
Right.
Or your music will be heard less. But like in the long run though, you're gonna benefit. You know what I'm saying? Especially if alternative solutions start coming up. Mm-hmm. You know, I really believe that like that's part of the revolution right now. It's like that's part of the renaissance of this shit. Like not just hip hop, bro. Every genre, right? Like we don't need that. But if we don't need that, we got to create something that's more fair for us.
I hear
you know what I'm saying? And I think there's a lot of people aligned in that mindset right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I have hope for that shit. Like, I'm not worried about that right now. Like, just like, but when the time is right,
as you said, there's going to be other alternatives.
There is because look, like you said, right? It's the hot topic, right now. So of course now, even if people weren't already working on something, right? It's the hot topic. So even if somebody's there's a demand for this. So even like a billionaire, a smart businessman, I mean, can you really trust them? That's who controls Spotify and shit now. But you never know. There could be a righteous billionaire that's like, let me create a platform. I can cut through this red tape right now because I got the money, and that could get you there faster. And you never know. You might invest in some company. You know what I'm saying? That's 100%. Like more fair for the artist. That's just like Spotify, Apple Music, where your shit. And then if more people more artists are just. Don't be scared in the short term and think about the long term, because that's what I think a lot of artists. I get it though too. They're like, but my shit is, I have to use it. As long as it's the most popular one, I got to get there. I'm like, yeah, but like if that's the most popular thing and everyone says that, then there'll never be an alternative.
Right.
So people got to start stepping the other way. So I think when that does happen though, I think like people will realize the benefit, and then they'll feel better about themselves, the artists, because they'll feel more in control of their worth. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
And I don't know. Like I said, man, there's, yeah, man.
Yeah. Next question I had for you is, you're part of a group called the Beantown Bullies, right?
Yeah, it's like a collective. Yeah, I would say it's like groups, like kind of not really a group, a collective. Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. So shout out my brother Rex.
Just wanted to touch on like how that like group kind of got started.
Man, I don't. So it got started before I was actually in it, and it basically got started in a time. I don't know the exact years, but it was around like I want to say 2013, 14. Maybe 2012, but see, at that time I had kind of taken a break from the scene, so I wasn't really like around. I mean, I did my spot appearances like when it was a rec shop event,
right? Or
if it was like a super important like release party, like if it was like a Rex release party or like a Big Sugar release party, something like that, I would definitely come. Or if it was like my people release party or some shit. But for like 2.5, 3 years, I kind of took a break. So I think the Beantown Bullies collective started before I came back on the scene, and I didn't come back on the scene until like March or April of 2015.
Yeah.
So I believe that's around the time we met. It was started I think in 2013, 14. You'd probably want to ask Rex, if you ever have him on, or like Bakari,
for sure,
JB. But I got involved. If you want to know that, basically, I got involved with that because I kind of had always like been cool with Rex and shit like that. Like I was a fan of his before I ever knew him, and I always considered him like my favorite from Mass. You know what I'm saying? It was like always him, and like Acrobatic. You know what I'm saying? Ed OG, of course.
For sure.
I always fucked with Riff Shop. Riff Shop is probably the most pure MC we've ever had in Boston, in Massachusetts. Really, it's just a great MC. You know what I'm saying? Like, very underrated or underappreciated as well. But those cats, but Rex, man, back to that, it's like I have a homie, my man Micah Casey. He does music too. He had moved up to Lynn, where I was living in like 2003, 2004, or maybe I was maybe living in Lynn or Peabody at the time. But I met him through a mutual person that was in my group, and Micah just happened to be very good friends with Rex and Alias from OVM and shit. Shout out to him too. And so like at that time, my man Micah was throwing shows in the North Shore. He was throwing shows in Salem, Beverly, a couple of things in Lynn and shit like that. He was from Boston, but he had moved to Lynn and he wanted to get shit popping. And like a few shows he threw, like I would perform. He had a side group of artists that was in my group. So it was him, the artist that was in my group, and another person that had a group called Universal Truth. So they would throw shows and they would put me on to open for them sometimes, and then like OVM, and I think maybe in Rex one time. But Rex a couple times would come to the shows and I say what up, we chill a little bit. I think one time we chilled after the show, my man Micah's crib in Lynn. But yeah, it was just always kind of like 6 degrees of separation. Never was like super tight with him or anything like that. Right. But it was cool with him. I was more cool with his bro Alias and Micah. But yeah, man. So all these years, just me being involved in the scene, doing shows, seeing people at shows, whatever. Right. And then we had talked about doing. Me and Rex had when he put out the Gray Hairs album. I think we had talked about doing something then, but it was just I didn't really know him well. He knew me. He's doing his thing. Right. He just put out like his greatest album, really. And so a few years go by, then I take a break from the scene or whatever. And then when I come back on the scene, like I said, it's like March, April 2015. My man Chairman Chow, he goes by Chairman Chow now, who's Champ Chuck. He had the Overdog radio show. Yeah, I remember that. And at that time he had it on Brookline Street near the Middle East. Yeah. And so I went there. He had me up there and shit because I had known him for a few years since before I took that break. I knew him since like 2010. So he told me to come through. So I went there a couple times with a couple other people. I done there once, but this time I had went with ST Nack. Shout out ST Nack too. And he asked me and him to come, so we went up there. We didn't know Rex was also there that day too, like premiering a single or some shit like that. So like we were just talking, doing our interviews, and then at the end, Champ Chuck, Chairman Chow, he had he always does like a little cypher or just do like a verse. Right. He puts a beat on, everyone does a verse or two, so we did that. Me, Rex, and ST, and then Rex is like, yo, I guess he had been living down in like South Florida for a while, so but he had moved back to Boston, so he's like, yo, I'm in the Bean, you know what I mean? I got the setup at my crib. He told me and ST to come through. He's like, let's just do some shit. All right, cool. So I ended up going dolo a couple weeks later or whatever it was, and then pretty much from there, like when I went there, he had my brother Paranorm already there, and that's like my bro, like my brother, like for years, you know what I'm saying? And so we just went there. I put a beat on. Me, Rex, and Paranorm wrote a joint, and then like Rip Shop came the next time I was there, and then like after just building with Rex that summer, it was like summer 2015. It was just kind of like I was part of the collective, like Yeah, man. So yeah, since about then, it's like it's more like a collective. It's not like it's always it's always representing Beantown Bullies. It's not like super active with that name right now, but it's more like it's a collective that still a thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I mean like it's not bullies like we're bullying people. It's like we're bullying the bullies or we're bullying the music scene. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're not calling ourselves bullies and shit. Right, 100%. But it's a certain mentality though. Like you have to like the thing about the collective is like every single artist that is down or had been down, whatever or whoever is, if it is even still a collective, it's all people that can kind of stand on their own anyway. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Yeah, it was kind of like spearheaded by Rex, and of course, like, he's Rex and shit, and he's a humble guy, but he's Rex, right? Right, 100%.
I remember I was
Yeah, and
blown the first time I saw 25th Hour.
Yeah, but you know, he kind of spearheaded it, and it's kind of like, you know, like it was an unbelievable thing he did. He was just basically like telling all the artists from our state to come build with him,
right?
And just do some shit,
right?
And then I guess apparently they had started going down to the A3C or AC3 Fest in Atlanta. They do it A3C.
Oh yeah, something like
that. So that's a big thing. So I guess there was like, I didn't go because it was like I was taking a break from the scene and all that. But I guess they had rented this Airbnb, and then so like that's kind of where it started. You know, and I mean like there was like serious people stopping through that Airbnb that week.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, and I guess they had made a little album, but I don't know if it ever got finished, so I don't want to speak on that. Okay. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, I wish I came a year earlier. No,
right, 100%.
No, but nah, yeah, it's real shit. But there's a lot of people that you wouldn't know that are down with the collective.
Yeah.
Some people that got some big clout.
Yeah,
in this music shit. So yeah, man, that's it. That's really it. It's a collective, I would say. Like I said, I would refer to Rex.
Right.
But that's what I see it as. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
100%.
But great people.
I just wanted your perspective on like how you were involved.
No, that's it really. Like,
yeah,
that's it. Like, you know, and then I started doing a bunch of shit with Rex, and then, you know, he invited me to go overseas with him like a year later, and it's just, that's kind of how it was. We had the bully shirts. We were just like, we came out there as that. We were on some bully shit that time.
Yeah.
But not like bullying people, you know. We bully in these stages, you know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
We bully in these microphones, we bully in these stages, and that's it. But we're not,
100%.
you know, but we building with everybody, bro. You know, it's not like,
I hear that, you know.
That's a major part of it too. That's what actually brought it together, was Rex and the other people involved just wanting to build with everybody together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hear that.
It's like bullying for the right reason, you know?
Yeah.
Bullying the bullies.
I hear that. Yeah. You know, it's like bullying the gatekeepers. In a sense.
Bullying, or whatever. Know? Bullying the stage. That's how I looked at it, yo. I came to bully this mic and bully this stage.
Right, 100%.
That's what bullying means to me, man.
Right, 100%. So we're gonna shift over to sports.
Okay. See if I know some stuff. What you want to talk about, man?
I don't know where to start, really. You know, I'm kind of we're watching the.
What do we got?
What do we got? NBA Finals predictions.
What do we got for titles? NBA Finals predictions. So the Knicks won last night, right?
Yeah.
Damn, man. Not damn. What I don't see. The thing is, I say damn, but like I honestly, I don't hate the Knicks. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a rivalry the last couple of years again, because like the Knicks and Suns fans are crazy, but really, like, and it was a rivalry in the 70s and all that. But me, I grew up watching like late 80s to 90s basketball. So they weren't the Celtics rival, bro. And I'm a Celtics fan first, but I also liked the Bulls, obviously, in the Jordan Prime era. And so like the Knicks and the Bulls had those like classic like series in like the early and mid 90s and shit in the playoffs. So at that time I was always wanting the Bulls to win. But you know, I like the Knicks though. I like their team, like Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, Patrick Ewing.
It's from you know what I mean. He's from Cambridge. He went to Cambridge Latin, Rangers Latin. So like I like the Knicks like back in the day. I just didn't like John Starks. Yo, I don't know if you know who that is, but John Starks. He was a good player, but he just fucking annoyed me, yo. But they had some dogs, yo, you know, and shit like that. And like when Jordan had retired, I wanted like Ewing to get that title that year against Olajuwon or whatever. But I also love Olajuwon, so like whatever, man. The Knicks, it's probably gonna be the Knicks, man. I'm not a Knicks hater, you know what I'm saying, like that. If they're facing the Celtics, it's fuck them. But yeah, I think it's gonna be the Knicks. The other series, man.
See the Thunder,
man.
Thunder and Spurs.
Jalen Williams got hurt. In game 2. Is he gonna be like? That's a big. They need him, man.
Yeah.
Defensively, offensively, that might be the difference maker, man. I don't know if like
Wemby's an alien.
I don't know if Chet is good, Holmgren, but he's not Wemby, and he can't take that for 6-7 games.
Right. 100%.
You can't stop that dude. He's just too big and he's too skilled.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
But then again, OKC, you can't disregard that champion DNA. They just won the title last year.
Right.
You know,
and Shai just won MVP this year.
Right, and then because Jalen Williams was hurt, you saw young dudes come in at the end of the year in the playoffs, and they're playing great in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of crazy when you look at it. OKC really.
Honestly, they really
stacked up.
They got heart and soul. This is second year there, but
no, I'm just saying, from where they were when they had Harden, Durant, and Westbrook, how they made all those trades to get to the championship.
That's what I'm saying. Their front office has been incredible for 10 years or more. Facts. 15 years. They're really good. Right. Because most of those guys, it's not it wasn't super teams. They drafted SGA. They didn't draft SGA. They got him in a trade from the Clippers or whatever. But he wasn't
Yeah, he wasn't a big player yet.
Yeah, right. And I don't think anyone thought he was going to be this good.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be an all-star a whole bunch of times. But fucking guy won a championship, won his second MVP. He takes over games against
100%.
The biggest stars on the other team.
100%.
I was kind of low-key wishing the Celtics and OKC went to the finals because I think we would have gave them a hard time. Because we gave them a hard time in the season.
Yeah,
we won one of the games, right? And then the other game, we could have won that game. So it's all about matchups, man. So anyways, let's get back to the original. The other series, I can't call it, man. OKC. I want to say it's going to be OKC in New York.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
And then I don't know, but after that, I can't predict that shit.
Yeah.
I gotta wait to see what happens.
I hear that.
My gut tells me OKC wins again.
But if New York goes, it's. New York's had such a drought. Being the Knicks,
they are the underdogs if they go
there. They have such an underdog.
But they've been playing so good in the playoffs that it's hard to say they're the underdog now.
Yeah, they have such an underdog story. But when you go up against a giant that's won back-to-back or is on the verge of back-to-back, a lot of those back-to-back teams end up losing the second
It's hard to win back. I mean, it's hard to win once, but back-to-back is even harder.
Right.
That's why it's crazy when you see the Bulls had 2 3-peats.
Right.
And the Lakers had that 1 3-peat.
Right.
And then Kobe did another one without Shaq. He did a back-to-back without Shaq.
Right.
It's that's incredible, bro. That's crazy. In any sport.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Football, I mean, it's the hardest sport to do anything like that.
Right.
Easily the hardest sport to do anything like that. Baseball, probably the easiest.
Baseball's probably baseball's the longest grind.
It is. But it's probably easy, be for 4. It's probably easier to go at least to the championship or win a championship, either or 5 or 6 years in a row in baseball. Except, LeBron did it for that long. But it wasn't one team, you know what I'm saying?
There's a lot less games, though. So, in baseball, it's just
no, but I'm saying
the Dodgers went back to back
talent. I'm saying on a talent level because in baseball, there's no salary cap, right?
Right.
So that the teams, not all the time, but most of the time, the teams that have the most money, they can get the best players.
Right.
They're going to be competitive for a bunch of years in a row.
Right.
The Dodgers are going to make the championship. In this 10-year period, they're probably going to make it to the championship. And they're probably going to make it there 6 or 7 times in a 10-year period, right? And I feel it's the same way in the NBA could kind of be like that, but they have a salary cap. But football is so hard, bro. It's so hard.
Facts.
To win one, but to win 2 in a row in football is impossible. I think it's the hardest one out of the 4 major sports.
Right.
Hockey's a little hard too.
Yeah.
Because you never know. And then playoffs, bro, just some teams, there's 2 teams that their goalie is just playing lights out.
Right.
And one of those teams, they might be the 7th seed and they'll just make it to the finals and win it. So it's very hard to repeat hockey as well, but I think football 100%, is the hardest. Yeah,
because when you look back at 2011, Tim Thomas had a magical run as a goalie. He was lights out.
Dude, we won that because of him, bro.
And the Bruins didn't necessarily have a President's Cup record or anything that year.
No, but they started rallying around.
They weren't a top tier team that year. But they ended up. But they caught fire and then took off.
Bro, when the playoffs started and they had like just like the energy was just, it's like, yo, it didn't feel like all the other Bruins teams like, oh, they're gonna fucking blow this. Like, and they even have done that after that.
Right.
They went right back to the same Bruins.
Right.
But something about that year or that couple year period, like I was like, yo, even if they were down like 3-1 with like 10 minutes left in the third period, or 4-1, I'd be like, they're gonna come back and win.
Right.
Especially when like the end of the year or the playoffs started.
Right.
I was like, no, they're gonna. Every other time you're like, oh, here we go. Like for some reason, at least that playoff run felt mad different, bro.
I remember.
And I'm not like a super hockey dude, but like that shit was. I watched that whole shit.
Yeah.
That shit was. Like you just had. I don't know if do you remember that? Like
I do.
It's like a feeling.
So like that particular year, I actually like ended up getting like it was like my second job that I had. I had it through my school. It was like a vocational program. And I was working at the old training facility for the Boston Bruins that particular year. Oh. So I got to see them practice like every single day. But so I wasn't really aware of hockey.
And you were young too, yeah.
So it's like I was like 16, 17 years old.
Yeah, you were young, yeah.
So it's just like I wasn't really too aware of hockey, or like I didn't like watch hockey enough to understand. To
see if they looked like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember like one of the first days, like I got there, like Char was like first person on the ice,
like 7 feet tall.
7 feet tall.
You know, he's like 6'8".
And he took like
6'8".
a slap shot, like trying to hit the net from like the other side of the ice, and his shot elevated and it hit the glass.
Thunderous.
And like I was on the other side of that glass, and I ducked, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
It's not just a regular guy's shot.
Yeah, I thought a bullet was shot at me.
That dude has one of the hardest slap shots ever, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Bro, I thought a bullet just shot at me." And
did he ever win the? They still do that, the All-Star break.
Yeah, they do.
The hardest slap shot. Yeah. Did he ever win that shit?
He did.
Oh, I used to love that shit. And yo, that was the shit in the 90s. In the 90s NHL, there was a dude, he was like on Washington or something, Al Iafrate or some shit.
Right.
He's not even like a Hall of Famer now. He had the hardest slap shot, bro. Al Iafrate or some shit like that. I don't know. You know, I remember that. And yeah, I don't know. Sports, you know.
Right.
You know.
Have you ever been to the Baseball Hall of Fame, Cooperstown?
I've never been to any single Hall of Fame.
Okay.
It's a shame, right? Like, we have the NBA one, and that's my favorite sport, and it's in Massachusetts. I've never even been there.
Right.
No, but baseball was my first love, though. For sports, like, for sure.
For sure.
I played since I was like 5. My older cousin taught me how to play like every position,
right,
like, on the field, like. That was my and I still love it because of that. Like, you know, even when a lot of people strayed away, I was like, nah, I still fuck with baseball. But
right.
The NBA kind of like took over at a certain age, and then I started playing basketball when I was like 11 or 12, and then I ended up just liking it better, and I was actually better at basketball than I was at baseball. So I was like, all right, you know, I'll take it more serious, I guess. But I wasn't like a.
I feel like when I was coming up, like during my time during sports, every sport that I played, I didn't fully understand until after I stopped playing it.
Oh, for real?
So it's like I played football. I didn't understand football at all.
It's hard.
Until like my junior, senior year. So like by my junior, senior year, I started being like, okay, like these are the plays. Like this is how everything works. But I missed out on that time period because it was like I played freshman football.
Oh yeah.
It's just like
football's hard though. You gotta remember a lot of shit, like
facts.
Like block him here so the shoe cap is open. It's like
facts.
Right. You gotta remember like the terms and shit.
Mm-hmm. I've seen the.
I never played organized. I always played football. I guess I was decent, but I never played like organized football. You know, like.
Yeah, I love when...
I just love sport. I used to I play everything. I don't give a fuck. I play volleyball. Like, that's what I used to do back in the day, man. Just try every sport, bro. Like, fuck it.
Right.
Tennis, I tried. I tried golf. Like, I tried all that shit, bro.
Yeah, man, I try golf like every 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty bad at it. I'm not gonna
I suck.
lie.
I can't drive.
I can't either.
I can putt, bro. I can putt, though. I'm weird. It's like weird. I can putt.
Right.
Like,
it's like
I be housing people at the...
Now I need to find out. It's just like I gotta go on a trip with some golfers to a mini golf course and see how they do.
I be
because
smoking, bro.
some people be good at mini golf, some people be really good at regular golf.
I used to smoke people at I used to take that shit mad serious. Like me and my friends sometimes, a couple of my friends would get drunk and go to this mini golf shit. And just we'd be gambling as we're going and shit, like drunk and shit, like some of them being loud. I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to like kids and shit, But I'm telling you, I won money playing people in mini golf. Like, yo, I had a good like 3-year run, bro. I'm telling you. And then I go to the batting cages at the same spot. I can't even hit the fucking ball anymore and shit. I'm like, damn, I can't even hit a ball that's like 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour anymore.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's just like, I don't know, like, when I go to a batting cage and see the ball just fly by me like that, I'm just like, bro, how do you do that?
You gotta do that.
It's like a baseball player. I'm always just like, how do you do that? Like,
the machine? It'll pitch the softball, like the underhand slow softball. You gotta hit those.
I remember going to the baseball exhibit that they had over at the Science Museum back in 2009. 2010, but they had like this baseball exhibit there. They had like this button that you press, and it would like give you like a ready signal on when they were about to pitch. Yeah. And it would show you like what an actual authentic pitch in Major League Baseball would be, and when you press the button would be when your swing time would be.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's pretty dope. Yeah.
So it's just like, bro, I watched something that was like 102 miles per hour like fly by. I was just like, bro, I couldn't even imagine hitting something from like Chapman or something like that. Like somebody who was a really fast.
Randy Johnson.
Fast, yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's like,
rest in peace.
I'm telling you, the hardest thing to do. Oh, you want to know a crazy story about that?
Yeah.
That was a spring training game. I know mad people will probably say this. Literally, I was clicking through the channels and I saw that game was on. I don't even know why. It wasn't even the Red Sox. It was like on ESPN or some shit.
Right.
And I just stopped because I saw Randy Johnson. I'm like, I would never watch. Was he on the Mariners then? Or
yeah, he was on the Mariners, I'm pretty sure.
I would never watch like just a random other game unless like I'm going by the channel and you see fucking big ass Randy Johnson there because the guy threw 100 miles an hour.
Right.
And like, all right, I want to see this guy pitch this.
Right, I want to see this basketball player pitch
it was unbelievable, 100
right? miles per hour.
So I stopped. I would never stop if it was like the Cubs or like whatever, somebody, even if it was the Red Sox, like sometimes I might not stop, but I saw Randy Johnson, so I stopped. So I'm not going to say it was the first pitch, but literally I think the second batter I watched him face, that fucking happened. I saw that shit, bro. I saw that shit.
That's crazy.
When they broadcasted like live, bro.
Yeah.
Just randomly, and I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know what the fuck happened.
Randomly channel surfing is crazy.
I just go, what the fuck was that? And then you hear the whole like, you hear the crowd go, oh, and the announcer's like, he just a bird or something.
He just flamed that bird.
He just made a bird explode.
Right.
Bro, that shit was crazy, bro.
Seeing the feathers until this day.
Yo, that was crazy, dude. Like, those guys, man. Yeah, but NBA is probably my favorite, though. Like, if we're just getting back to that. NBA. Yeah, I don't know, man. Celtics,
For sure.
All the
way.
What
do you think? Do you think any ideas on an off-season move? Like, I think when it comes to that kind of stuff,
I trust our front office, man.
Yeah, I
Brad
do
Stevens
too.
is really good, man.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel like in the NBA, like you can just like, I know everyone's talking about like possibly like Jaylen Brown for Giannis and shit, and all that, but like honestly, like. I feel like in the NBA, like we might be able to keep Jaylen Brown and Tatum and get someone like Giannis.
Yeah.
Or if it's not Giannis, we could get like another superstar. I mean, like LeBron's name's been floating around and shit. But like, man, it's got to be, if you're gonna trade Jaylen Brown, it has to be for somebody like that.
Right, it has to be. You can't just trade Jaylen Brown.
No, literally, not just someone like that.
You can't pull a Red Sox.
Not just someone like that.
It has nobody.
It has to be like Giannis specifically, right?
100%.
It has to be because
I think our best chance of winning another championship is keeping Tatum and Brown together.
Me too. And you can add another, not to make like a super big three, but like maybe somebody that like is a little bit past their prime, but was like a superstar before.
Right.
Like maybe someone that's like 32, 33.
Right.
Been in the league 12, 13 years. That's like still an all-star.
Yeah.
But was once a number one on their team or a number two, and it doesn't have an ego that would be a number three to them. And I think like you have probably 2 or 3 years to try to make to like a 3-year run. You know, and then you keep, you know, you might get rid of like Hauser or some shit. I don't want to. He's great, but we have Shireman, right? Like we have Shireman. I think like next year they already said like Hugo's gonna get some more run next year. We got Keita. He came into his own, right? Like
I like Keita.
Pritchard, even though he's like undersized, he played good defense this year somehow. He got burned by the bigger guards a little bit, but not as bad as I thought.
Right.
Not as bad. And that's why
Shireman took a step back this year.
Yeah, especially in the playoffs. But Shireman, I think development helped to get rid of the Pritchard shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, especially Tatum being gone, like Shireman's a good like wing player, but he can pass, he can rebound, he can score, he can shoot, he can play defense.
Right.
And so he's kind of like Hauser's a better shooter than him, but Shireman's not. He's still a great shooter. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of does more than what Hauser would do. And he's like the same height and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like same 100%. Build. You know. So if we have to get rid of someone like Hauser to free money, and then we gotta bring in like a dog though. We need like a dog.
I hear that.
We need a dog. We have Jaylen Brown's a dog, and we got like a couple dogs kind of on the bench, but we need like a dog. We need like a Josh Hart or something like. They're not him because they'll never get rid of him. Now they're on a run, right. But like we need someone like that. That's like a like can do everything and doesn't have an ego. So I think honestly, even if we just got that and didn't even get like a third superstar, if we got like a dog like that could start and is like can take over if they need to and rebound and play defense, I think we get a chip with that. And then Tatum has the whole. He pretty much had a way more than an off season, but he was trying to recover an injury, so he didn't really have an off season.
Right.
So now it seems like his knee is probably almost 100% now, right? And then now he has this time to get the full off season. Now the chemistry can come back to where it was. You know what I'm saying? And then him and Brown, it was kind of hard. He came in, you could tell he didn't want to step on Jalen's toes because that's his boy, right? And then, but he took over when he needed to. But then in the playoffs, I think it came back. Like, what are we gonna go with? The chemistry is a little weird. So that's all. I think that's all that happened. Yeah. I think they overthought it.
I do too.
They weren't, because in the regular season when Tatum was playing, it was fine.
Because I don't believe the Knicks are better than us right now. I know the Knicks are in the Eastern Conference right now, but I think the Celtics are still a better team.
If you looked, on paper and even on the court, I think that we have more depth. Yeah. So overall, I think we are a better team, but it's hard to say that because we lost in the first round to a team we were up 3-1 on, and the Knicks were down 2-1 in the first series, and then since then, except for the other night, they went on a tear, bro. Right. 6 or 7 games in a row. They were just winning by 40 points, 50 points, and then the other day in game 1, they should have lost that game, and then they just Jalen Brunson just started doing Jalen Brunson. They just they did that shit they did to us. Right. And those comebacks last year. It's crazy.
I'm not a huge James Harden fan, so with the whole Cleveland situation right now, it's just
they can't. It just. He's never been able to just get to the extra step, and so far Donovan Mitchell hasn't either.
Yeah. I feel that.
I love. Oh man, if we had Donovan, I love Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, he's 100%. Just him and Jaylen Brown are just.
I think
Donovan Mitchell's a dog.
Back to the point that we were just talking about of what we could get for a championship. I think an elite point guard is one of those big things, because when you look up the picture up there, you have Drew Holiday, and
There's
like
not
Drew
many-
Holiday's not an elite point guard in this
played
league,
great this year, too,
but you know that he could drop 20 if he needs to. You're not expecting him to drop 20, 30 points every night.
Yeah.
But he could drop that if he needs to. He has a great basketball.
Yeah, like if Jaylen Brown's out or something,
Yeah,
or Tatum's out, and then you got Pritchard.
Yeah,
he can
like
make
he has
up.
a great basketball IQ as far as like passing the ball.
No, and
I think that's one of the biggest things that the Celtics didn't really have.
He won a championship before he came here. He helped Giannis get his.
Right.
And then he helped us get ours.
Right. 100%.
He's a champion, too. Mm-hmm. He has that pedigree, you know what I'm saying? And he's a great player, great defender. Mm-hmm. He's a little older now, but he had a great year this year.
Right.
Like, unbelievable year this year. Like, he was like the team leader. He's a team leader, just a quiet, old, like, veteran team leader.
And that's what he's kind of always been everywhere he's gone. Like, he was a superstar.
I'll take him back in a heartbeat, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah, I'll take him back in a heartbeat.
If he's available.
I think he showed interest. He said something, right? Like, I think he could come back. I don't know, like.
I don't think he's like a Dennis Schroeder who has.
I don't think he'll start. You think he'll start, though? I don't know. Depends who we get, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, who's an elite point guard in the league now? There's really not a lot.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot anymore.
Look, if you go down, the teams,
like
right?
Steph took a step back,
and he's kind of like a shooting guard.
But
no, he's an elite point guard too. But
yeah,
I'm trying to think. Like, if you go down the list, like look at our division, it's like we don't really have an elite point guard, right?
Right.
The Knicks
kind of a shooting guard.
The Knicks got one.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson is elite. He's one of the best players in the league, right?
Yeah.
Philly, I mean Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey's a monster.
One. So look, that's two in our division right there.
Yeah.
That are like two of the best in the whole league. And then Brooklyn, they have a sneaky like good players, but they're not. They don't have elite. And then Toronto, who's their point guard? They just have they have a big point guard, right? He's not elite though. He's not elite.
Yeah, I can't think of
Indiana does when Halliburton's back.
Yeah, Halliburton.
He can be, but I don't know if Halliburton's as good as Jalen Brunson or Maxey though.
Yeah,
but
Halliburton's a guard, right? He's not forward.
He's a point guard.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's not. I would say he's elite.
Yeah.
And then Milwaukee, they're trash.
Yeah.
Chicago doesn't have him. Detroit, Cade, but he's like 6'9".
Do you think
he's elite?
Do you think Chicago's ever going to get out of the shadow curse of Jordan?
I mean, they did. They started to at one point when they had Derrick Rose, right?
Yeah.
Joakim Noah and all those guys. But, yeah, it's been a while, man.
Like, I hope we don't run into that same problem with the Patriots. Like, I hope we're never in the shadow curse of, like, Tom Brady in that era, you know? Like,
I mean, it's hard, bro. Those are the two goats.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
we're talking about Tom Brady and Michael Jordan.
Right, we are. But we're also talking about the organization's stability after those players.
That's true.
You know? Like, it's been 5-6 years since Brady's been gone at this point.
You know who I think? Yeah, it's still a little early, right?
It's just like when you look at.
But we made the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, we did. And that's
unbelievable.
That's gigantic.
We're very lucky to have Drake May, man.
100%.
It only took a couple, like 2, 3, 4 years to figure it out. That's unheard of too. In the NFL,
a couple gap years and then going from worst to first like that. I know we didn't win,
and we made the playoffs one of the years too with Mac Jones. We made the playoffs that year. You know what I'm saying? We got smoked by Buffalo, but we made the playoffs.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not like we were trash. We were trash for 2 years in a row.
Yeah, we were horrible.
Yeah, we couldn't get out of our own way. It was just time for Belichick to go. Right, like it is what it is. I love it, you know. But listen. I think like.
Do you think Gerard May was scapegoated? Or do you think?
I think you know what I think.
I don't think he was ready for.
You know what I think they did? I think all year he was annoyed. They lined him up, bro. I think that was mostly on the organization. They lined him up, and then I think that last game. when he tried to win the game and they won.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Because we probably would have got the number 1 pick.
Right.
Or the top 2 or 3 picks that year. If we didn't win that game, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, all right. Because he knew they were going to get rid of him too.
But like now looking at it, it's just like, bro, Boston sports always hits on that 3rd pick, bro.
I know, dude.
I don't care about the first pick, bro. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum.
That's why you got to trust the Celtics too, because even before Brad Stevens, Danny Ainge was a monster, bro.
Monster.
Every single GM has fuck ups, right?
Right.
But overall, Danny Ainge made those trades to get all those draft picks. That's why we got Tatum.
Right.
That's why we got Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, whatever. Then we had pieces to move so we can get Kyrie that year. And like, also, man.
I feel like Danny Ainge's model is what OKC's running off of now. Because they traded so many of their players and stacked up so many draft picks and then got the players that they wanted in free agency to add on to those draft picks. And they're so young.
Their GM is smart, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that dude's like... There's certain GMs that are just dogs. Like, him, like, you know, even back in the day with the Red Sox, like Theo Epstein, like, that guy is one of the GOATs GMs, you know what I'm saying? And then when he left the Red Sox, he fucking went to the Cubs and got them a title, bro. Yep. After 108 years, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's even, like, the Red Sox had 86. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. But they had 108 years. But that's Theo Epstein, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there's not a lot of great GMs like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know.
And, you know,
we're lucky we got one.
A lot of people call both the place where the Cubs play and Wrigley Field and Fenway Park like the two shrines of baseball because they're the two oldest parks.
They are.
And it's just like,
people literally,
that's so cool that it was just like, he got to do it in the two biggest shrines of baseball as well.
There's people that don't even watch baseball, but if like from another country even or another state or whatever, they're like, oh, we're gonna go check out Boston for the first time in our life. They literally will go to a Red Sox game just to see Fenway Park.
Right.
Or take the tour. But a lot of them want to be at the game and feel the energy of the whole crowd full and people, you know, back in the day, you know, the $10 bleacher seats and young people just yelling and swearing and cursing. Now you can't really do that.
Yeah, you can.
But I'm like, yo, because the kids and shit, but like, I was a kid. My mom was holding it down. She let me go.
Do you think the TD Garden has a special feeling? It's like it's overall place. Yeah,
I think it does.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think, and Fenway. Yep.
For sure, because like, for me, like, if something was to happen, I would rather want to get banned from the Garden than Fenway, because I'm personally like more of a Fenway Park person. And when I've gone,
it's not like it used to be.
Like, I've gone to Bruins games, I've gone to Celtics games, and like the TD Garden really just doesn't feel special to me, and I don't know why. Why that is. I mean, have you been in the old Garden?
Yeah.
So
it was way better, yeah. Because it was just dusty, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, yeah, this is Boston. I was like a little kid, but you know, I was like, yeah, this is Boston, baby.
Right.
Shitty ass fucking
like,
no
I remember
AC and
when I was a kid, I was at the Fleet Center.
Oh yeah, that still felt like, but that was it wasn't the same though.
Yeah.
No, the Fleet Center still kind of felt. No, the Fleet Center felt more. Yeah, the Fleet Center felt more like the Garden.
Yeah.
Than now, but it's still special though. It's still like, I've been to like other. I've been to Cleveland's basketball arena one time, and it didn't have the same feel.
Right.
As even the Garden now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I'm telling you, it's like just something about just those banners hanging and just the legends, you know, were your team.
Right.
And shit. Even if it weren't your team, it's like if you're just into the NBA or you're into the NHL and you see these things and you watch the YouTube videos before you go and you see the fucking in the 70s with the Bruins players fighting in the crowd
100%.
And shit. That's like, that's so classically, like, it's not the same building, but it's the same. It's still in the same place. Yeah. It's like moved over just a little bit. It's like that energy is still in that area. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't quite feel as the same as the old thing, of course. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, but it's still great. I don't know. I guess maybe if you go to a playoff game, it's different too, though.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying like. Even like in its great moments, like I've been to Celtics games where they've really rallied, and like really like the crowd got like really loud, like it felt electric in the crowd.
You know what I'm gonna tell you? I'm gonna tell you some real shit, man. You know what really changed it? It's I mean, whatever, and I get why they had to do it. Like when they let people yell and curse and swear at the other team and this and that.
Yeah.
That shit, that's what made it unique. You know what I'm saying? Like that's uniquely Boston, but it's weird because like you'll do that the whole time. You'll yell at the opposing player, "You're a fucking bum, Kobe, you're a bum."
Right.
But then when it's Kobe's last game at the Garden, that same person that was saying that is going to give him the loudest ovation.
Right.
You feel
100%.
That's the thing, and so, but just joking around, but kind of being serious. I think that's what's made it not feel like it no more.
I can see that.
Because Fenway Park back in the day, it wouldn't even be full. I remember being like 16, and like they sucked, yo. It was like, like right after they won that division with Mo Vaughn in '95 and shit. And then they sucked, yo.
Right.
96, 97. I think 98 they were good, but man, you could go to that game. Wendy's was giving you tickets for like $2 and shit. You could buy bleacher seats for $10 or $12, and you can get the shitty one, and then half the shit's not full, so you can go right to the front.
Right.
And the older drunk dudes are sitting there.
That's what
yelling at the other team center fielder. saying
crazy stuff,
but maybe a little too crazy.
Right.
But they just censored it too much, man. It doesn't give it that, they'll kick people out if they get a little drunk and shit.
Right.
I don't know. It's like I don't think you necessarily should be kicked out unless you do some crazy shit. But I think that's a missing element. I think that's let that shit happen a little bit more, man. Let the the tension, it's not gonna as long as the fan don't try to go on the court or try to touch the player or no racist shit, no no.
100%.
Obviously, this beyond the.
There's
can't cross the line.
I think the biggest reason why we have why it's so protected now is because there's too much of the racist. There's too many of the racist hecklers.
No, I get.
And that ruined it for everybody else.
I know why they did it, and I know why it has to happen. I just kind of wish there was a way to
100%.
But it's hard. You don't know who's gonna go over the line,
right?
Because nowadays people are just they don't care anymore.
Because
back in the day, even crazy motherfuckers, they would stop at a certain point.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Even if they felt that way, they wouldn't. They're not gonna say it. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's a car insurance commercial that has Marcelo Meyer in it, and he's getting yelled at by a heckler that's in the thing, in the crowd, and then he's notorious for saying something and be I heard your mom does this or something, and then he gets that whole group of people to be you bum, all together and stuff like that.
That's pretty funny though.
So it's just in that sense, heckling's allowed in that sense. He went viral. He went viral in that
heckling
sense.
still happens.
Yeah,
it still happens. I remember,
but you just don't know where to really push the limit anymore with it.
I went to a Red Sox game one time, and it was in the mid '90s or late '90s, and it was it was back then. It's the Guardians now, but it was Cleveland Indians back then, and Albert Bell. I don't know if you know who that is.
I don't.
He was this power hitter. He was big. He was a big guy. He hit 40 home runs every year. And I guess in the previous offseason on Halloween, I don't know what happened. Somewhere in his neighborhood, something happened, and he allegedly chased kids down the street with his baseball bat on Halloween. So I was sitting on the third baseline side. We were not too close, but 10 rows behind, so not too far. And every time he'd come up to come out of the thing to go to start walking to the on deck circle, there was these two dudes. They were older dudes. At that time I was probably 15, and these dudes are probably 30 or something like that, right? And they're just they had a couple. They had a few protein drinks, we'll say. So they were energetic,
right?
Yeah, they were energetic, high protein, right? And they were one was "Hey Albert." Hey Albert. No, they were calling him Joey because his name was Joey Albert Bell, but he liked to be called Albert. So they were going, "Hey Joey," when he came out of the thing. "Hey Joey, chased any kids with a bat lately?"
Right.
So the whole time, and I'm laughing, whatever. He can't fucking hear him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So then literally his third at bat, And then he literally strikes out his first 2 at-bats, right? So he struck out a lot, too, because he's a power hitter. He comes back, and so now when he's coming back, these guys are going extra crazy. They're like, you suck, you struck out twice. They're going, going crazy. That's what you get. That's what you get for chasing kids, you weird. Like, they're just going crazy. And he doesn't even acknowledge them, doesn't look. He's like, he doesn't hear them. Literally the 3rd time he goes up, dude, the dude says something, and the heckler says something, but he gets more elaborate. He didn't say nothing too crazy. Right. And he was like, so like, he still didn't acknowledge it, right? But the heckler said something a little bit crazy. I forget exactly what it was. It wasn't over the line, but Albert Bell goes up there, like, literally the first pitch the pitcher throws, smacks a home run like 450 feet over the green when he's a righty, like across the highway behind like Lansdowne. Like that must have went that far. Like
that's crazy.
They said on the thing it was like a 452-foot home run. Crushed it over the green monster, bro. He does his like home run try. He taps third base to come, and then when he starts to walk to the dugout, he literally looks up. So now he looks up at the 2 dudes, and then he's like, "It's for you." He goes in the dugout. I was like, "Yo, that was amazing." That was amazing, bro. He heard it. We didn't think he heard it, you know what I'm saying? But he just was like, ignored it, cracked a home run like 450 feet, and looked up, and we couldn't hear him, but he's like. Right. To the 2 dudes that were heckling him. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. It's fun. Like,
100%.
Yeah, man. That shit was, I always remember that, man.
What do you think is your, like, most memorable sports moment or wrestling moment that you've seen live?
Oh, shit. Oh, man. Oh, so I think there's 2. I can do 1 and 1, right? Wrestling, I know we haven't gotten into. I don't know if you have time, but
yeah, we have a little bit of time.
Wrestling is crazy because I've been to a bunch of shit back in the 90s, really, mostly in like early 2000s. But
were you a Raw guy or a WCW guy?
I liked them both. Yeah, I liked them both, yo. Because like when I was real young, like. Well, let me answer the question first, and I'll get to my start of liking wrestling. But favorite moment. So, it might be 2. It might be 2 of wrestling.
Yeah. Right.
One of them is so when I was this is probably 1991. 1990, 1991. I was like 9 or 10 years old. And we lived in like Tampa Bay, Florida, in this city called Tarpon Springs. And so I had moved down. My family moved down there when I was like 7 years old. So I was down there for a couple years, and I loved wrestling. I watched back then it was WCW. It was like NWA. Yeah. Kind of. It's kind of transitioning to WCW. It was on like TBS all the time. So I watched that. I watched like the WW. It was called WWF at the time. They didn't have like Raw and all that shit back then. They just had like the Saturday morning superstars. Yeah. And then and like once a month, I think, Saturday night main event, or maybe it was every week. Saturday I can't remember. Main event. And then here and there, they would do like these like random spot up shows, and then the pay-per-views that you had to pay for, right? But so I would watch that. I'd watch anything I could for free, and then once in a while, we couldn't afford to get the pay-per-views, but my grandmother would get the pay-per-views. But all the WCW shit, they didn't really have pay-per-views. Like, their pay-per-views were, like, on TV for free. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Except for, like, when they started doing, like, Starrcade and shit. Yeah. But a lot of times...
At the beach.
Yeah, a lot of times they would do WCW Night of Champions. And it'd be, like, one Saturday night a month. And that was kind of like their pay-per-view. So it was, like, all great matches on TV. But anyways... My uncle had brought me to see... It was a house show. You know, it wasn't, like, on TV. It was just a house show. And they're on their tour or whatever. And it was in Tampa, Florida. And I remember this shit. There's 2 moments that night. Wait, was this when he was... I went to 2 shows there. So there's one. There's 2 shows. There was a WCW show when Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was in WCW. Okay. And I remember he was up in the rafters and he did his whole like blowing the fire routine like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And I remember like being 9 or 10, like, oh shit, that was so cool. Right. Like seeing 100%. Fire. I forget who he was fighting. It might have been Ric Flair. I can't remember exactly, but I just remember that moment. I can't remember who won. And then another time at that same place, it was a WWF house show, and it was like when do you remember? Do you ever know about the storyline? It happened like during the Desert Storm War, the first Iraq War. 1990-91, it was like Hogan versus the Iron Sheik.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And shit like that.
Yeah.
But there was one point, and then the WWF had Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
And he was the big USA guy, the military 100%. Guy. At one point during that storyline with Hogan and the Iron Sheik, Sergeant Slaughter turned on the USA. And he turned into a bad guy, and he joined the Iron Sheik, and Iron Sheik was his manager. And he was fighting Hulk Hogan at house shows.
That's insane.
Right? So at this house, and they built it up at the house shows to be at that pay-per-view, like WrestleMania, I think.
Right.
And I went to the house show of it. Mm-hmm. And I remember that day, it was Hogan versus Slaughter in the main event, and Iron Sheik was his honorary manager.
That's cool.
And at one point, I remember Hogan had a torch thing, and he blew fire. Same thing, fire. He blew fire and hit Sergeant Slaughter in the face, and that's how he pinned him. Wow. Or something like that. It was like some crazy shit. Like,
right.
And yeah, so I remember those two moments. And then also I was at the WrestleMania in Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So that's for wrestling.
Yeah.
And that was when Stone Cold first won the title.
Yeah.
And he was my favorite. And that was when The Undertaker, a few months before, supposedly Kane had buried him.
Yeah.
But he came back at that WrestleMania to fight Kane, and that was the first time The Undertaker had those like druids.
Yeah.
Guys with the close on with the fire.
Yeah.
And we were like super close, and he just walked out. And I remember Undertaker's entrance at that WrestleMania was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Because we were like we were on the aisle, pretty much. We were right there with the barricades, and so he walked. The druids are right there to fight.
Right.
Shit, yo.
I want to go back and look at that one.
The sports?
I'm gonna go back and look at that particular WrestleMania.
It was pretty good, yo.
Because I know that was a good one. I've seen it because like,
it was WrestleMania 14.
Yeah, that was
98. 98. It was at the Garden.
Yeah,
yep.
That was Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold.
Mike Tyson is the referee.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
There was some other good matches too. It was like
you were talking about the Undertaker and the Druids and everything.
Druids. Yeah.
I think I told you this, but I went to the SmackDown that was right after WrestleMania 20.
Oh,
so
shit.
he was the
American Badass.
He was the American Badass, and he just transitioned back into the Dead Man.
Oh, I remember that one. Oh.
So it's like he was after that WrestleMania, he transitioned into the Dead Man.
That's so sick.
And then
I remember that moment.
I remember after that, like all I really remember from the match was like Undertaker's entrance. He came out and like interrupted a match because like Paul Heyman was the general manager. And he interrupted the match between. There was a tournament that happened.
I remember that.
Yeah, there was a tournament that happened with Eddie Guerrero. Yeah. Rey Mysterio was the main event.
Eddie Guerrero was the star, bro. He was always one of my favorites. Him and like Rob Van Dam and shit.
Right.
And back in the day, I used to love like Jimmy Snuka and like those type of dudes, like Tito Santana.
Right.
And shit like that. You know, like Ric Flair, obviously, like. All those Mr. Perfect and shit, you know what I'm saying?
The Macho Man.
Yeah, those are, come on. Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man. Yo, you know what's crazy? I think, man, this is a crazy feud when it was like Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior.
Right.
When they were feuding for a few months in like the early 90s or
I think it was
90,
like
91,
95,
92, 93. No, they were feuding, it was before that. But I remember their interviews with Mean Gene. Like even when them two were not feuding with each other, when they were feuding with other people, they were fucking absolute maniacs. Like Ultimate Warrior, like you remember Mean Gene would come up, he'd be doing his talking shit. Warrior would be like behind him, but his back turned.
Right.
Warrior would have his back turned. Mean Gene's looking forward, and he'd just be going and like making weird ass noises and shit. And then he's like, "What do you have to say?" And he would just turn around, mad fast, be like, Mean Gene, they don't understand, and he would just go off into some ill shit,
right?
Like some like I don't even know, like some mythical,
right? Like
Lord of the Rings talk type shit. Like they don't understand the powers of the warriors and the possession of the. He'd be going off into some other shit. Like I don't even know, like the wizards of the Shire and shit. I don't know. He'd be saying some crazy shit.
Right.
And then he would just be roided up and like, he had the face paint and all that shit. And then like Macho Man, Macho Man's just being Macho Man. So when they were feuding, their interviews against each other was fucking crazy, bro.
I loved the Macho.
You gotta go look that up. When they were feuding, or if they were on the same team, oh my God, bro.
I loved watching Macho Man versus Hulk Hogan when Elizabeth was involved.
When the Mega Powers exploded. Yeah. Because they were like a force together.
Right.
Yeah. I remember that time. I remember that fucking WrestleMania. That was one of them. That was at WrestleMania, right? Or was that a SummerSlam?
I think it was a SummerSlam.
My grandmother ordered that for me. I watched that one. I remember that.
Yeah.
She would usually try to get me at least WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? Or like literally, this is a crazy. I'm gonna sound mad old. Back in the day, they used to have you can rent the VHS tapes. At like grocery stores, bro. So when I lived down in Florida. The big chain back then is like Winn-Dixie and shit. So there was a Winn-Dixie near my grandmother's crib. My grandmother was like a town over from us in this town called Holiday, Florida. But when I go to my grandma's, we go to that grocery store. They go grocery shopping, whatever. Like my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom, whatever. Then we go to my grandmother's house. But I'd be in that section the whole time trying to find the ill. Oh, I never saw that WrestleMania. Oh, I never saw that SummerSlam. Every time I went to that market, I'd ask my yo, can you rent this for me? I'm like 10, 11, 12, you know what I'm saying? And I would literally watch those shits on VHS tape. Renting them from the grocery store. They had this like section. You can rent movies and shit too, but they always had all the wrestling pay-per-views and shit.
Dope.
And like WCW, WWF. They even sometimes had random ones too. Like, it was so weird, bro. Like, I don't know. That was definitely like a different time. Like,
for sure.
You could rent VHS tapes at the grocery store.
Right.
I didn't know if it was up here. I think somebody told me it was like that here too. But I wasn't living up here then. You know what I'm saying? But I just thought it was some down south shit.
The first VHS tape of wrestling that I had was the 2003 Royal Rumble at the Fleet Center.
Oh, sick.
So that was the first like VHS tape, and then I remember I had one of those TVs that had the recorder on it.
Oh yeah,
so I would set my timer all the time, and I used to lose it when I missed an episode of SmackDown because I didn't have Raw.
Bro, I used to do the same shit. I would record the wrestling shits if I wasn't gonna watch it, or even if I was, especially during like the Monday Night War shit, because that's when it was like both were like interesting. But then like I also used to record mad music videos, dog. Off like Rap City, off MTV when they played videos. I used to record mad videos. Like I would dub over like I remember one time my dad had like he had all these VHS recorded tapes when like he was making in the 80s and shit, like Police Academy movies and all that.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I mistakenly dubbed over it. All this like hip hop videos and shit. It was like Bone Thugs and Biggie and like fucking Wu-Tang and shit. I was like, oh shit, I dubbed over. But I like Police Academy too, so I was like, damn, we lost Police Academy. I got these hip hop videos. Damn. Yo,
that's crazy.
Shit was crazy with VHSs, man.
Right. So I'm going to conclude here with the question I ask all my guests. What do you have as dreams and aspirations for yourself, like moving forward?
Dreams and aspirations. I don't like honestly, man. Just like, I mean, honestly, but music or just in general, everything.
Just in general.
I don't know, man. Just to like level up as like a human being, really. Like, just get wiser. Just be at a comfortable place in my life where I feel like stability. Because it's been the last 10 years has been like a very big amount of instability. You know what I'm saying? Just overall, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but just that and to be able to like really delve in and go full force with the music thing in the way that I see fit. Maybe it might not be the same way that other people do it, but for me, whatever can produce the most amount of conscious thought shit and trying to just add on and just like really just go against all the evil that's taking place in the world. To be honest with you, I know that sounds all like deep and shit, and it sounds all like cliche and all that, but like I really like am thinking that way. Like, what is it's my duty to think that way. It's my responsibility
Right.
That's how I feel. I don't have, a lot of people have things that can hold them back, and very understandable things. Like they have families, right? They have kids, they have bills, they're in severe poverty.
For sure.
Taking care of their sick relatives, and they can't really either chase their dreams or like really try to add on to the world the way they want to, right? So that's what I try to do. And to be honest with you, like the best way for me to do that is through my music. So I have dreams to do that, to get more stable. Obviously we live in a world where like financial stability is a thing,
right?
Because that helps. I don't need to be like filthy rich. I just need to be just more financially stable, more mentally stable, whatever,
right.
And just try to keep that balance, man.
I hear that.
That's it. I mean, I have a lot of aspirations, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's really just due to the work that I put in. You can't really achieve those things unless you like whatever goals you set for yourself or aspirations, and sometimes goals change. So it's hard for me to bring up like just one. You know what I mean?
For sure.
We'd have another 30-minute conversation. But the aspiration is really just to keep growing.
Yeah.
As a human and just get more stability overall in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
I got different ways to do it, and some things I haven't tried yet, but but like I said, mainly, man, with music, just keep doing my shit, try to have a message, update my formulas like I was saying earlier. I always have held that word by Guru and Gangstar. Like that's always been a very important thing for me to think about, and I always think of that, you know what I'm saying? So really that's it, man. It's not too deep, man. I be building with some of the 5% Nation, the Gods and Earths, and it's not as deep as you think. It's simple shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's it, man. Like just keep it simple, try to be a good person, try to add on, try to build with people, try to help people when you can and shit. That's all I try to do, man.
I love it.
Yep. I aspire to be a better human. There we go. That's it.
Well, I appreciate having you on the episode, my brother.
Hope I wasn't, going off in tangents.
No,
I tend to do that.
We'll see you on the next episode.
Peace.